No. Oh, I haven't done the twirl, the I choose me twirl
God.
in a minute. Wait a minute, y'all.
Sure I haven't did that.
The I choose me twirl. Get into yourself. Oh, yes, honey. Go back to the you. Go back to you. Well, anyway. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good morning to you. Now,
all right, Redley.
If you're just tuning in, we just say good morning to you. And welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Coffee. Okay? Coffee. I don't know. It just happened like that. It just happened like that.
Coffee and Conversations.
I should be saying Coffee and Conversations. Huh? How y'all hold y'all up? Is that picky up?
That's when you have to teach.
Well, listen, who said we can, listen, crossbreed and everything else, we can do what we do with tea with
crossbreeding. Oh, Jesus.
Everybody out of control.
The
world is out of control.
That was Martin.
Talk about out of order, honey. We live in a world that is so out of order. It's ridiculous. Out of order, y'all.
Out of order.
It's so out of order, honey. It's a mindset healing that has to take place in order for the world to get back in order, honey. Until you renew your mind, it's just spiraling lower to the flower. And not enough people getting back up as quick as they used to, honey. So you know that bounce back is a little whack right now.
That bounce back is what?
That part.
Oh, that's what it was. How would you design a healthier you?
Oh, perfect. I guess that's what we
You said it was.
How? And so the topic is, how do we design a healthier you?
How do we do that?
How do we design a healthier you? Is the question. What would that look like?
What would that look like?
A healthier me would look like
not giving a damn about the mom.
Yeah. That's a healthier. Definitely the first step to being healthier is not starting with today. Right? Starting from right where you are, right? Because I can't move forward until I accept exactly where I am. So anytime even if you're looking at when people used to do geography, or when you were traveling, you had to get that map. And in order to really know where you had to go, you had to first accept where you are. So the first thing when y'all go on your GPS, in order to get somewhere, the first step they want to know is where you're coming from.
What's your starting point?
What is your starting point? Because I can't give you nothing that's going to help you plan unless I know where you're coming from. Because it changes the direction. It changes the time.
But where you at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where you coming from? Yeah, right now.
Where are you?
That's the point on that thing. So now we have the good time.
Where are you?
Listen.
Where you at? Where are you?
Where you at?
I get you from where?
I'm trying to tell you. You got to know where you are. And that's why you got to be in the right position to ask. But yeah, you can't go anywhere without knowing where you're coming from. And I think a lot of us are moving aimlessly, not knowing where we're coming from, which is why we are impatient about the destiny. Come on now. Because my impatience with my destiny is because I think I should be somewhere already. Which is in what? Mathematics, right? So if we go back and make it about time for healthier us, and we know that spirit imitates life, like I said all the time, and you go back to how we actually arrive from destination to destination, and we use this new world that we in where you could just go on maps, and you don't have to know coordinates, and you didn't have to be a math. Many people were lost all this time because math was not, we didn't have the access of the phones to just type in an address and show you, right? No, so we have less excuses now because now you don't have to be a scholar to find out how to get from here to here. You just gotta do a little bit of work to know where you are and where you want to go, to understand what lies in between, to give yourself an idea of the distance. And so we get upset, we get tired, we get frustrated when we are unclear of how long it's supposed to take us, because we haven't actually made a plan, right? And so when God says write the vision and make it plain, it's for your sanity. Because when I'm in the car and I know that we got an hour left, I have a sense of, like, even when What the F is Your Mustard Seed in the book, when I'm telling you, it's one thing when you go to DMV and they tell you your number is 50, they could even be on number 10, like I said, or number 1. But because you know in what order you are in, that you can actually have a time frame, because after the first 3 numbers go, you kind of got an idea, oh, every about 5 minutes they calling somebody, every about 10 minutes they calling somebody. So I can kind of get an idea. So knowing is that peace, that clarity, right? That's why faith is for things hoped for and unseen. That means you lack clarity, really with the exact direction, but it gives you a vision to go back and study and show yourself approved, right? So when God says, I gave you the insight so that you can now write a plan, so that now you could be attached to the assignment and begin to get into alignment on the journey. Because if I know it's going to take you 20 years, I'm not going to pile everything on you, because I don't put more on you than you can bear. So what do? I have to give you bite-sized pieces on the way, because where you're going is this big. And I can't take you from here into there, because you'll sink, right? If I took somebody who just learned how to swim and dropped them in the ocean that can drop 25 feet, 100 feet, 1,000 feet, what is your ability to survive that? It's very slim. And so we imagine that the minute that we get the idea, it's like you going from different levels of water or different techniques. You got to learn how to swim. First, you got to know how to doggy paddle. You got to know how to do this. You got to make sure all these different steps that are required. That's why God said, write the vision to make it plain. Because now that I know where I'm at, because I've been real with myself, this is where I'm at, period. I'm at location A. I need to go. Okay, let's use money. Let's say I'm at $100 a month. And I know I'm at $100 a month. But I'm saying in this dream world that I want to be at $10,000 a month. That means I need 9,900 extra things to go right for me to get to there to there. Is understanding that if I'm at here and I know where I'm going, now I know I'm working on the 9,900. Now I can reverse engineer. That's why God said, if you write the vision and make it plain, that's the answer. Because guess what you get to do after you got it? You reverse engineer it. So if I know I'm here and I go back, now I can see what steps it will require for me to get to this destination. And that's why it's so important to, like I say, take accountability to from where you are, so that when you are actually dreaming of the plan and the idea and the thought is in real time. Because while God is on a timeless timetable, right? We have been, the flesh makes us into the program of time. So we have to respect the program that we have been dropped into, which is the flesh. It operates in time. The body got to rest. The body got to walk. The body needs this. The body needs that. The mind can go for hours, but for days. And does. Because you know, people have to take a pill to rest their anxiety and their mind to fall asleep.
Go to sleep because your mind be going.
Right?
Still going.
So you definitely have to rest that mind, which is why the Sabbath, a healthier you is showing up for the SOS. The Sabbath overflow service on Saturdays at 7 p.m. live and in person in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Every Sabbath at 7 p.m.
4900 Barricktown Center Drive.
And all you need to bring
is your chair
and an open vessel. Because how do we get to health? We are about us. We embrace us. I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. That's how I get to a healthier me.
Choose you.
Choose you.
On that day. Nobody and nothing else. Just choose you. Come bring your lawn chair. Come sit in the nice, well-maintained grass.
Well-maintained grass.
Well-maintained.
That's important, right?
Plush grass.
Plush grass. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's not hot.
At 7 p.m.
It's
yeah,
cool.
it cool
the
down.
breeze is going, and you get to just choose you on that Sabbath service. Overflow service.
And so I think it's really important for us to ask ourselves, how do we get
wonderful
to healthier us? Like what does that look like? And so it's really getting into that relationship where you become your own best friend. I go back to how it started when we were back in 2016. I think of becoming your own best friend. That hour, that talk was one of the most major things. Very good for me. So I always say, as God speaks through me, he's really speaking to me. I always have to go back for the replays because we're all on assignment, right?
And it's like,
and it's flowing like,
and when you get to look back at it, it's like, ooh, I was saying all of that. And you get to take it in now. Yeah. It's like, ooh, yeah. So you learning too, you like taking it in.
I mean, it's a gift to be used, right? And to really know that you're being used, that it ain't you, it's because God used you to use you. And so when we go through our testimonies, we understand to be a healthier us is to change our diets, is to change our sleeping patterns, is to change the environments we are in. It is to change our belief system in ourselves. It is to change our fear into faith, or have a new way of fearing, which is forget, escaping, and rise, right? And so it's really about being honest about your who, your what, your why, your when, and your how. So who are you? That's what heaven ordered. Why are you here? What are you supposed to be doing? That's your wisdom hat. How are you supposed to be doing? That is the process. That is that X factor. How you do it is you worked it out already. So you already know your skill sets because you are a survivor. Being a soul survivor is accepting what it required and don't get lost in the war, get lost in the victory that it was won, right? And sometimes we stay stuck in what happened to us and not what we happened to. Because if it happened to us and we're not still there, then we happen back to it, right? We happen to get back up. We happen to let it go. We happen to say, I'm not going to take my life because this is how I feel, right? Because we got to be honest. Suicide is such a high thing in this thing.
Why you won't instead of why you are. Like, you know?
It's very important.
It's like they want the positive. And when you say there's no, yes, there is. Your brain is just not thinking of it. You gotta focus, just like you focusing on that negative. Focus on the positive.
3-year anniversary.
3 years.
That's a story from 3 years.
He's had lots for 3 years.
Look how little those things was. That y'all forgot.
I didn't realize it'd been 3.
Look how tiny his head is.
Look,
his head is down his head.
Afro. Oh my baby.
I just love Facebook posts. Sorry, listen, I try to go on here and share it.
And you know how.
And that's
how you get caught up on the social media.
That's exactly what happened. That was not what I went in there for.
And you wind up on there for a couple of hours looking at stuff.
Like, what will you be? How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I tried that something for the last time. That's what I did say. What are y'all? Kia, we gotta do a karaoke Zoom party.
Oh Lord!
Oh no, we could do karaoke down there with my.
Oh, we can do a lot. We just outside.
We outside. We gotta do a
Oh,
karaoke.
Oh,
That's the
Lord,
good thing about the refill station on Mondays, and you can come into the Zoom, but on the healing, which is free, on the Sabbath service, yes, on the SOS, the Sabbath overflow services, you know, it's a Sabbath, so it's a refill. So it's really about pouring into you through affirmations and confirmations, and you know, the word is about 20 minutes, whatever the message God gives us, but it's about fellowship, right? It's about fellowship, and it's about having fun.
That day, it's I choose me day. Okay. And
so that day is feeling you because it is your Sabbath. So on the last day, God rested. And I like to remind you guys that God, who was so powerful, all powerful, needed a day of rest. And he took it. And so if he is but the epitome, and we are in his image and in his likeness, right? That we were created in his likeness, etc., then we too may need 2 days if God needed one, but at least we can give ourselves is a to not work, to not stress, but to find solace and gratitude in just being. So that when you are on the work days, because on the other 6 days, God had to work, and he had to work to create the vision, the intention that he had in place, that he had set up. And so we too, who are creating, we are creators, right? Mm-hmm. You're a mom, you're creating. You're a dad, you're creating. You're an entrepreneur, you're creating. You're a worker, you're creating all kind of things every day. You have so many roles and titles that are attached to your assignment, right? I always say it's the company you keep as God is taking you to your destiny. And so, because right? That's all it is. Yes. Because everybody has their own assignment. So he said, God is so graceful and so wonderful. He said, I'm going to give you some company.
Them 7 disciples.
Right. There you go. No, 11. What you mean? It was, oh God, you just threw me up. Yeah, what is it? It's 12 disciples.
The 12 disciples. I'm over here talking about 7. See,
I said the 7 disciples. I'm like, wait a minute, I just forgot. How many disciples is it?
12.
Just made me forget. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm talking about he had 7 disciples. I'm 7. I'm trying to type. I just put 7 p.m.
Hey, Arthur Lunette. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping, and thank you for always sharing, because that is caring. Y'all like my commercial? Because that is caring. But anyway, seriously, what I will say is, it's time for us to recognize that in order for us to become healthier yous and me's, you know, in Jersey, they like, hey, where yous going?
Where yous?
So where yous? No, not the yous. I ain't talking about
yous guys.
Talking about where yous going? Where yous? You know they call you yous in Jersey. Where you? What yous up to down here? But the question is, in order to have a healthier yous, right? The thing that's inside you people. Us people, we people, it's like, what do you think that you could be doing to have a healthier you? Outside of the physical, because I know that we can all go on a list of what we can do to have a healthier us on the physical, because that's what people really, in this day and time,
we're not talking about the outside. No, we're not talking about the outside.
Right, because even...
you are not the outside. Mm-hmm. You are not your hair.
Mm-hmm.
You are the soul that lives
within. Yes.
So let's start getting that right. You the physical and all of that. No.
And that's important,
that's
right? So that you can, and it would be greater important if you were doing it to look in the mirror and to be able to embrace yourself, right? It would be even more important if you could stay in a space of peace when you're doing all those things on the outside, right? To get you going, to get you flowing, to get you moving, right? And so that's what life is all about. It's about remembering that that's what we are here to do. We are here to create a vibe in the world, right? God is a vibe, and he gave us a God peace. And then he said, let there be light. And then he sent us and formed, he knew us before he said we were formed in our mother's wombs. And so now you're sitting there and saying, how am I healthy? I'm healthy because what God did was his physical was not important. That's why they let him use words to speak the life into existence, because what is important is what you think, because what you think, so shall you be. That is your you. So if I can think right, then I can do right. But if I believe what I'm thinking, then I'll get an action for my attraction. And so taking the time to say a healthier me, right, is being intentional with how I'm thinking. Because when I think, I create walls around me, or I remove doors from around me. That's what your thinking does, right? Because you want, right. You know, and so period. Because it is the key. That's why what you're going through, as we said on the other week, was you have to understand that somebody needs to relate to you so the ship can move. And so then you become the master key to them. That's why you got to remove the shame and get in your lane. That's why you need to be transparent with your children, because parenting is in transparency and it's crystal clear, because it is your responsibility to unlock them. God knew what you went through. That's why he sent them through you. You thought it was an accident. You thought it was because you forgot to put on a condom. But God said, no, I know who you are. I know what you've been through, and I knew them before I formed them in you. So the audacity to think you get ownership, because there is only one way to get in, the same way you got in. And who owned you?
Oh, Lord.
Who owned you? You couldn't wait till your parents can't tell you nothing.
Oh, Lord.
So you knew that you wasn't owned by nobody but God. That was clear. And you was waiting for them to stop trying to tell you what to do, because you knew God. Well, we don't put it like that when we're young, right? When we're young, like, oh, I cannot wait. Cannot wait to do what I need to do, because they always in my business.
You were so stupid.
It's like, who you do? I know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, every kid has been that until they became the adult in their life. And when I be listening to my husband, and then when I be listening to I be like, oh my God, we are so parents. We are our parents.
Yeah.
Because I could hear them. And so it's like, what you're hearing is adulting. What you're hearing is the evidence of process. You don't understand what you don't understand. And you can't speak from a place with so much confidence and conviction until you kind of had to go through certain and make certain decisions. And so conviction comes from, what is a conviction? It means a decision was made. And now you're convicted, because with all the evidence, we decided that it falls in this thing, and that's that conviction. And so we got to convict ourselves after a decision's been made. And the decision's been made that that's your parent.
Convict yourself.
Right? Convict yourself.
Convict yourself.
Convict yourself, girl.
Convict yourself.
I say commit yourself.
You ain't got to I convict myself.
I didn't say commit yourself, right? Because you ain't got to go crazy over it. I said convict yourself. We commit ourselves because we don't convict ourselves. Come on now. The reason why we have to commit ourselves is because we don't convict ourselves. Because if we convicted ourselves, we will go through the process, come on now, of accountability, so that we don't have to go crazy because we can't accept the inevitable.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Give yourself accountability.
I'm gonna write that in my phone, because that's gonna be a whole topic.
Convict yourself before you have to
commit yourself. That's what. Look. Until you commit.
You gotta commit yourself. That means keep yourself accountable. Be accountable.
Oh, that's gonna be on this. This is gonna be a part of the healing series.
I'm telling you.
I tell you, God be on fire. Convict yourself before you commit yourself.
So you have to Hey, either or.
Listen,
You either gonna convict yourself or commit it.
I'm telling you,
Commit yourself.
this healing is serious. This healing is serious, okay? It requires some real big
accountability.
Yes.
It requires
I'm about to say big girl drawers. Put your big girl drawers on, honey. It's time for the conviction. You know, you ever see somebody about to get convicted? They be sitting in that chair, honey. They say, "We're sorry to say that you're guilty." They will be falling. They faint. That conviction is boy, it takes your breath away. It's a grieving process. We were just talking about grieving, right? It's a grieving process.
Real with it, honey. Convict yourself. Take accountability.
Come on,
Author L.
That's gonna be the. You know what? That's a good. This gonna be good for my mental health series. Mm-hmm. Heal thy history. Yeah. So convict yourself before you. And the conviction.
Because you gonna get committed if you keep.
Yeah.
And all that.
I'm gonna tell you, like even when I was doing what the F is your mustard seed, one of my conviction was, girl, you ain't as faithful as you think you are. That's a conviction. Because you could be convincing yourself that you are really in this understanding until it's your problem. Then all of a sudden, your feelings get in first place over your healing.
Feelings
because it's personal, right? And so that's all it is.
And that's the problem.
Right?
Get out your feelings and into your healing. I said.
Listen, you need the dancing fingers.
You need them. Rain on me. Rain on me.
And we don't want the rain, but I ain't never see a seed grow without water.
Come on now.
Y'all want sun every day? Go sit in the desert and see what you get. Ain't nothing growing in the desert, so why you crying when it's raining? Go ahead, girl. Let the rain fall on them. And no, we have nothing in our coffee. We are excited about life. Because when you want a healthier you are laughing instead of crying because you understand that tomorrow is not promised. What am I wasting my time over spilled milk? Clean that.
It still means that you got some accountability to do. Let them tears flow.
What's the song? Essence. Kia. Rain down on me. Let it fall on me. Rain down on me. Let's get to this comment. What the L is saying.
She said, I've been grown since I was probably 15 months old. Meaning, if everybody's outside, I've got to be outside. I can't with you.
What they say? We outside. We outside.
We talk about when I see everybody doing something. Stop trying to hold me. Let me go. And I've been like that ever since. She was that baby. Let me down. I don't want to be on your hip. I don't want you holding me.
I want to be on this stuff. Well, any chic chick that rides motorcycles, honey, you a boss to me.
You was a bad one, honey.
You a boss to me. You's a boss to me, boo boo.
You's bad,
right?
Honey.
Because if you on that flow, honey, you ain't want to be messed with. Stop trying to hold me back from something that I'm excited about. Excited about something and you're not. Don't hold me back. That is so major. That is so major, and that's why I say you gotta be your own best friend, girl.
Yeah.
What your best friend do? She call you.
Excited like you, child.
But wait, your best friend call you and be like, girl, oh, I want to do A, B, C, and that, but I don't think I could do it. I don't think I got it in me. I you know, life is hard. It's like, girl, well, let's make a plan. You could do it. Oh, girl, I'm in this relationship and I don't think I can take. Girl, you got it. You are enough. You are special. You can get out of that thing, girl. You don't got to stay there. You deserve better. Girl, these kids is driving me crazy. I don't even know. Girl, come on. Let me take you out for a minute. Let's go get a break, right? Yeah. So that you could come back full, right? With a refill so you could be your best self. See, your best friend comes to rescue you from the grief, right? Your best friend comes to rescue you from grief. Grief of whatever L you done took, right? So when I say becoming your own best friend, it means that I get to see me. I get to love me. I get to push myself into all the yeses. Because your best friend going to push you into the yes, not the no. They don't never want you to doubt it. They're going to make you look at it at another angle so that you can see just how special you are. That's what the best friend does. And so if you are your own best friend, and if God says greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world, and you're saying I'm giving my all to God and not giving your all to you, then I'm confused. Because if greater is he just disrespected everybody else around you. He wanted you to know that you was his prized possession because greater is he that is in me. He didn't use you. So he said, I wasn't asking you to talk to them. I was asking you to talk to you.
And people say talk to yourself is crazy. No, you crazy if you don't talk to yourself. Because who better to talk to you than you? Like you said, treat yourself like your best friend. So no, you talk to yourself as if you are your best friend. If that was your best friend coming to you with these issues, what would you say to her? Girl, come on, girl. Fucking girl. Just come on. We got to go out for a drink. Tell yourself that. You know what, girl? I'm going to not think about it. I'm going to go out.
That part.
Get myself. You talk to yourself. Like,
and sometimes they got to say, girl, you know you overreacting. Because that's what my best friend had to tell me to myself. And I'm talking about she to me.
Come on.
She to me. My mind had to talk to my heart because what they say, release your mind, the heart will follow, right? And so if your heart keeps on taking you there, it's because you ain't changed your mind. That's why God didn't say renew your heart daily. He said to renew your mind daily because he knows that the heart serves the mind. And so when you're minding your business, the heart beats for you. But when you're in somebody else's business, the heart beats for them. And so they got life and you got nothing. Because you minding their business. And God said to renew your mind. And you giving all of your energy to getting them to see what you need them to see. And he said it wasn't for them. They got their own story to tell. I said to renew your mind. Because then when you believe what I'm saying to you, come on now, and you do it, what happens? You become the evidence. Then you inspire them. And then they come to ask. Because God said to ask and ye shall receive. If you're going off telling people, which is something I have to learn, which is why I was depleted. Because I was so busy telling everybody everything. And nobody asked. I could see it. I'm like, oh, let me tell you. And God said, ain't nobody asked you that.
Ain't nobody asked you.
Which is why they can't receive it. Because people don't treat free like they treat something that they invested in. So you giving them free information for their consolation, and they not even ready because they hadn't asked yet. And so back to the banana for the yes. If I don't know that it's there, I don't ask for it. So God said, when you can see it, then you ask, and I will say yes.
Whatever you want, what you ask for. You ask for what you want.
And
so
he
if
said,
I ask for it, you just giving it to me.
That part.
I don't treat it the same.
And I was just telling Chef Ron yesterday, because you know the spirit is always high. I would say, you know what's so crazy about the ask? Ask and ye shall receive. It's the shall for me. Because he didn't say will. He said shall. So shall is kind of like when you think of shallow. Is a small chance, right? You shall, because we still got to worry about who we asking. Because who you asking is why it's a shall. Because if he said it was guaranteed, it would be will. See, we can't take yes and no, but we give yes and no's, right? Come on now, because shall means it's a chance. It's a chance. It shall.
It's not a definite.
It's not a definite.
Oh, Lord.
Ask and ye shall, because sometimes you asking the wrong question to the wrong person, so you can't. That person don't even have the capacity.
So you don't get it, so now you mad.
So now you mad because who you asked was shallow.
Or they couldn't even give it to you.
Because they had to. He said shall, so they were shallow. They didn't have the capacity to give you what you needed, and now you mad at God because you asked the wrong person. Ooh. He said shall. If it was a guaranteed, he would have said will. Wills are guaranteed. It's my last will and testament.
You know that.
Asking ye will. He didn't say will. Ooh. He said it shall. And so we got to understand the yeses and we got to understand the no's. We also got to understand the waits. Because I know that if I hadn't waited,
oh Lord,
and the weight didn't sit on me, I wouldn't have picked up my spiritual muscle. And then when I arrived to the competition, I wouldn't be able to do the deadlift.
The deadlift.
The deadlift, honey.
Oh Lord, the deadlift.
I couldn't even compete in the room.
Okay.
Because my spiritual muscle couldn't take it. And the first thing they dropped, I would have been, take the bar off, take the bar off. Somebody's spotting my spirit over here.
Oh my God, spotting my spirit.
Are you spotting my spirit? Take the bar off. I can't breathe. Because I was in a room that I wasn't spiritually equipped to handle the weight of. So God says, I'll make you wait so that you can get used to the weight, so that your spiritual muscle can be intact, so that when you get into the room you are destined to go in, it won't be a deadlift. You won't have to be spotted every single time because I spot you because you're unsure of the weight that is on you. But if you had embraced the weight and you had worked out with the weight and you had increased your spiritual muscle, that when the opportunity came for you to be in a competition in the room that you was begging to go in, you would have been able to compete at a high level in order to complete your destiny.
Come on now.
So some things require competition in order to get in position, right? Yeah. Because it's matching you up. It's not a competition in a tearing apart. It's a competition in a building up. Because when we compete with each other in a holistic way, then everybody gets stronger.
Out of love.
Yes, because if we go round and round and round in a match, and you get and it's a draw, both people have become better in the process. But if I walk in that match and I bang you out, I ain't got no train. I didn't do nothing. I didn't build no skill. I didn't build no win. I didn't build resistance. I had to go through to grow through in order to be available and able to show up for the match. And so the weight is hard, but the weight is necessary because they sound different, but it's two different words now. You got a W-A-I-T in order for the W-E-I-G-H-T to make your spiritual muscles stronger. So the question is, what are you doing when you're sitting in the waiting room? You be in the gym? Now let's call the waiting room the gym. You sitting in the gym watching everybody else live? You watch everybody else live.
You gotta wait.
Oh, girl, you got that on there. Oh,
you gotta wait to get to the weight.
Come on now. Well, what people doing at the gym? You ever see those people at the gym ain't doing nothing but watching everybody else work? Getting jealous. Oh, man, she got six pack. But are you seeing her do 100 reps? Why you on the phone?
Are you witnessing?
How you talking and working out? You know how you talking and working out? Because you watching everybody else instead of increasing your weight. Working on your spiritual muscle. Asking somebody who is in the physique, or let's say the spiritual posture, the soul's posture that you want, do you ask them, well, what is your routine?
That part. What work?
Because I need a plan.
I need to know the work to do to get to your result. What work did you do to get to where you're at? That's what we need to be asking.
But I don't want no rant. Let's see.
Oh no, you was good.
I was good.
Go ahead. See that? Okay, that's okay.
That one? Oh, this one. No. The one right above.
Let me see. Go to the next one. Let me see. Make sure.
We
did that one. Stop trying to. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That one. Or the L says, stop trying to block my spotlight because your light is dim. Get the hell out my way. Move.
That part. And that's why it's so important to get into a tribe that's about that chandelier fear.
That part.
Because with a chandelier, the more lights, the better.
Yeah.
The more beautiful, the more amazing. Spotlight. So if you just want to be
with it.
You just want to be a little 75 watt bulb, go ahead. Ain't nobody breaking their neck to get no 75-watt bulb. That ain't luxury. That's just light in the room. You put that and you put a damn lamp over it. You don't even know. They put the shade over it. You don't even know the power of that lamp. That 75 watt, that whatever watt you got. But a chandelier, it brings beauty. It brings exquisiteness. It brings luxury. It brings collaboration. Mm-hmm. When the lights collaborate, it becomes a chandelier affair. It becomes beauty in its highest form. And guess what? You look at it, castles are built with chandeliers. Mansions are built with chandeliers. Everything of quality, hotels, the Ritz-Carlton is built with chandeliers. Not a light, but lights.
Not a ceiling
that light. Come together. Not just a skylight, not just we talking about real collaboration that brings exquisite beauty to every single room. If you go into a room and it's like this 4x4, it ain't nothing going on. I can show you a before and after of a white room. All I have to do is make the walls gray, put some sconces on the side, and put 3 chandeliers, and I will turn that one room that looked just as big and plain into a place you want to have an event at. Yeah. Just because I painted the walls and put a chandelier in the ceiling. I want you to know the power in connecting and allowing lights to be together. As I often said, if the world is dark, it's our fault. Because what is true and has been true since the day God spoke it into existence, when light came, there was no longer darkness. When the sun rises, night is over. There is no competition with the sun and the moon.
Not at all. Each has its own place. They have their turn.
Let me tell you something. If the sun stay up, the moon ain't gonna have no place. That's what I'm saying. Nighttime don't have no space when light enters the room. And so if there's dark spaces and places all around you, it's about the people who are not lit. Because darkness cannot coexist in light. All I'm saying is that once the light comes on, only place you're gonna find darkness is in the corners and in the shadows. If I turn on the light right now in this room, the only place that I'm going to find darkness is underneath the couch, behind the thing. But once I lift it, it's over. Darkness has ceased to exist. So when we, healthier us, are lit people in the world making a difference, I'm talking about overshadowing the darkness. Because when a light is creeping in, it's a shadow. But when the light stays, darkness has no place.
No place. That's like a hater. A hater has no place but to come to terms with who you are. Because there's no room for
that's
them.
Like hell has no place like a woman scorn, no fury. What they say? Hell has no fury like a woman scorn. It's like that too.
Come on now.
Once that enters, it's over for you, fam. What does author L say?
Author L says, see, that's not me. I'm not a sugar-coated person at all. I would tell it like it is. I'm not a yes person. I'm that person that would agree with you. I will hurt your feelings if I see you going the same way. I'm not that person. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, we know Author L.
And you know what we had to learn to do, because God says to give to receive. What we had to learn to really do is expose ourselves. And when God says to humble ourselves, he's really talking about our pride, right? And not in a way that I have to feel insecure, but in a way that I have to release that to be the evidence of his promise. Because without my truth and without my story, I don't really operate in the promise of God, because it wasn't about anything but the healing. And so if healing took place because you got connected to the source, you're going to have to talk about what you came through in order to be who you became. And everybody wants to spotlight the promise, and nobody likes to spotlight the process. And the process is the healing. It is the inspiration that people get, right? Right. Because the importance was more not just that she touched the heel of his garment and became healed. They spoke more of the 12 years that she was bleeding. and the position she was in, so that you can see the grace on the space when she touched the hem of his garment, the need that she had and the desire that she had to touch Jesus to become made whole. That the fact that he didn't even know that she touched him. He looking like, who touched me? Who touched me? And everybody's like, ain't nobody touched me. Like, I felt power leave. I know somebody touched me. Right? But it was really, but so lies in her need to be healed. And the evidence and the love and what Jesus represent was that touch. Lazarus dead for what they say. Was it 3 years? I think he was dead for 3 years when Jesus rose him from the dead, right? It was the touch. When the little girl died and there was nothing they could do, it was the touch. So God wants you to talk about the affliction so that the touch can be magnified. But the touch can't be magnified without the conversation of what was inflicted before the healing. So when I see that now, I get inspired that God is not picking on me, He's picking me up. He wants me to run to the touch.
Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Melissa. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Good morning. What the else? I am not Captain Save-A-Ho. God said, let them go. So off the cliff you go. I told you so. Lord Jesus.
Girl, you are Captain Save-A-Ho. He said, if one sheep is gone, he's not concerned about the 100 over here. Yes, you are Captain Save-A-Ho. That's what you came to do, to Save-A-Ho.
Maybe, or maybe not. You gonna
right. And you may not be Captain Save-A-Ho if you wasn't a hoe already. See, Captain Save-A-Ho would be the hoe that became whole. So you can save a hoe because now you're whole. Let so you can have a message. So if you wasn't a hoe, you ain't Captain Save-A-Ho. But if you was a hoe who got touched by God, then you Captain Save-A-Ho. Do you understand that? If you was abused and something came over you that you got healed and now you're in a better position, then you're Captain Save the Abused. If you was molested and now you have a healthy mindset and thing, or now you Captain Save a Molester. Molestee, should I say. Come on now. We are the answer. Our value is found in our valley. So if you was a hoe, you save hoes. If you was molested, you save souls of people who've been molested. If you were abused, you saved the abused. If you was a drug dealer, you saved the drug dealers. Come on now. He said, if you don't relate, the ship can't move. See, now, if you wasn't none of that, you're going to judge it. And if you judge it, you can't be of God, because the greatest of this is love. And they say God is love. But the first thing of love is patience.
I used to be you. That's why I could tell you.
That's why I'm telling you. Because I'm a recovered hoe.
You was me.
So you can save a hoe if you a recovered hoe. Let's get that straight. No shame. He said, remove the shame and get in your lane.
Right. Who better to tell me than somebody who's been me? Yeah. I want to hear from you.
So I knew what it was not to be loved, and I was searching for love in all the wrong places. Tell a story so God can get the glory of your healing. Don't be fronting. Listen, if you ain't fronting for God, ain't no need to front for them, honey. Because they're going to tell it when it come out anyway. So you might as well tell your own story so God can get the glory and you can get your power back.
That's what you said.
I always say the who may kill you, but the what will heal you.
So my girl, listen, coming to grab your arm because you want to be doing that. Well, go right on ahead.
So it is your responsibility. I'm sorry. Remember, the ability of measurement in which you can respond. That's why everybody has a responsibility, whether you want to accept it or not. Your life gives you responsibility. Your breath. This breath right here, and especially the time you got to breathe. The distance on your breath brings you more responsibility.
Wait, let's get to these comments. They down. Okay. Good morning, Jacob.
All right, we sang to them.
Okay. Yes, we did. Okay.
It's in the chirping for me. Okay, so let's see.
Talk about, I lost a good girlfriend because she knew I would get into her shit. Because I knew the role and the way she was going. She was making wrong decisions. So when she did something wrong, well, she ghosted me too many times, and I haven't talked to her since 2017. We've been good friends since we was 14 and 15. I think about her, and I don't miss it at all. I'm not a light switch or dinner.
If you don't miss at all, then maybe y'all wasn't good friends. Because there will be a sense of missing. Maybe you don't miss.
You mad at what
you don't did, right? You don't miss her ways. You don't miss her. You know her lack of growth. Let's say that, right? Because we all grow at different levels.
Because you think
and
about
we all
her, so
have mastered different things. Yeah. If she came up, she mattered. But it mattered in the story, right? Maybe it was about you learning.
Oh, you don't miss what she was doing with the drama.
I mean, who would?
I think about her and I don't.
You don't miss her brokenness, right? Because I don't think we call things what they are, and we name people, and I just listen. Yeah. Guilty.
We got to give it the right.
I'm gonna be on guilty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I got a mother-in-law guilty. We don't. You know, we get in our feelings. I got siblings that I fought out with. Guilty. You hear me? Guilty of getting in my feelings, honey. We all are in the process of getting out of our feelings and into our healing. But it's really about being accountable because God wrote them in that way. And I had to start telling myself to be mad at you is to be mad at God, right? But what I need to be mad at is the boundaries I didn't set or the belief system that I changed because I wanting the best for you. See, you could be in the midst of somebody and be the example for them without actually being their co-signer. If your credit bad, I ain't got to co-sign the car. I'm going down with you, right? So I don't have to co-sign the bull, but I can be in the room to always be an example so that you always got another path to take if you ever get to the place where you're ready to take it. As long as it doesn't hinder. And I say, I know it's hard. It is very hard, but I know that they say that he will make your enemies your footstools. And once again, I often say, I've never seen anybody step on a footstool that wasn't right in the room. Matter of fact, right there. So to step up means to not allow that situation to take you under. So God said that's a step up in your healing. Because until you not take it personal, but take it process, you lack healing. Because many of us get stuck and stuck in that grief of what was lost, what we expected, how long it's like even death, right? When somebody dies, everybody say, oh, tomorrow ain't no problem. When they die, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you so.
Take me with them. You leaving me behind. You probably didn't come with them. You probably just met them. You know what I mean? You came by yourself. You're going to go by yourself. And as hard as that is to say, and I know, I'm going to be destroyed too.
Yes.
I'm going to be destroyed too. If I lose somebody that I have gotten to in a part of my story, but period. That's just the price of admission. But it's still, it is the mindset going up to that point, I think, that really prepares you for the moment. So the more we like, oh, I can, or I expect it but don't really believe it, it's the things that you really believe that you achieve. So when the moment comes, one of the people that stood out so powerful for me was when, what is that LA rapper that had died? The guy. What was his name? I didn't even know him until he died, and that's a lot of people, right? It's like he was 33, like Jesus. Most time I don't even know people because everybody wants to celebrate all the amazing things you did when you're gone.
Laura London.
Yes.
Baby daddy.
Yes. God, his name is right on my head. Somebody. But anyhow, when I was looking at his funeral and his mom got the power and burying a son and having the energy and understanding of life and death the way she did, gave her the freedom to grieve him right. Because when we don't accept that tomorrow's not promised, so I'm going to celebrate you today, and then you don't show up tomorrow, you don't grieve them right. Because you don't let them go. You take ownership of them. And so you don't allow the spirit of them to, to go on. So it's like operating in that mindset and trying to accept life and death, really. Yep. That's why I love talking with Michelle. Queen is a death doula. Yes. Being able to operate in the idea of the inevitable. So important, right? And so it's like prepping for those things. So it's so hard because we don't want to let go, but we understand it.
You can't fathom them not being here no more.
Oh my God.
But like I keep
it's such
saying,
a hard.
think of all the positive and don't drown yourself in the negative.
Yes.
So,
that part.
That I was just talking to mommy about that. Yes, Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you, Author L.
I knew she knew. I was waiting for her to put it in there. Yes, Nipsey Hussle is his name.
Yeah,
that part. I thought it was so right, and then it was like, wow, what amazing
it's so
person. What amazing work he was doing, and you just don't know, and that's why it's so important to be important. That's why I say your fingerprint gonna tell you what they did wrong, because they'll tell you if he got arrested.
Yeah,
they'll tell you all his life. They say that he used to be a part of the gang and all that, but when he died, his soul print.
Come on now.
His soul print.
You ain't
told us what he got right. You found out about the changes that occurred because he showed up.
Who was he as his soul? Who was the real, not the outside, not the physical, but who was he as the person? Like, come on now.
And so get into the healthier you is get into your assignment.
Get into the healthier you.
Is get into your assignment. And so that's what represents, right?
It is assignment. People are so celebrated because they be into their assignment. Yeah. You never go to a funeral or burial or nothing, and they talking about all this bad. Don't nobody celebrate that. That's not the assignment. Like, you are in your assignment, and you don't even feel as sad. You feel like we celebrating life because your life is what you celebrate when you're on your assignment and you impacted people. Right? So it's like, come on, y'all. We not in here. We boo-hooing. They not here no more. But when they was here, let's celebrate and give them kudos to what they did and what they accomplished and what it's the positive. We not talking about, y'all know he was on that block, honey. Remember when the cops came and he skirted up the corner.
But no. I love that part. That's the best part. And it goes back to what we saying about the healthy living.
Right.
Because without that part, you don't know what God can do. You need that part. And that's what I'm saying. When your story shows health, development, you were here and you ended up here. That is the soul print. That's the part. He went through all that, and that God said, I don't care what my shirt said. Don't throw my past in my face because I've been working undercover for God.
Right.
I'm on assignment. I have a duty to reach people who went through where I went through. That's where I started. That ain't where I ended because I made a plan.
Not where you ended. He started there. However, based on him going that route, this is how he was able to be on the block and teach the younger people and then get his mind renewed daily so that he can leave all of this impact.
Absolutely.
So it's not that you just stay in that point, but it's for a reason. You mentioned it, and now it's like to show you where I ended. So,
which is why y'all see that's where he was.
Still on the block.
He was where
he could witness to the people he was.
Right. Because that's what healing looks like. It looks like going back to get one lost sheep.
Will there be
and
more?
It could cost you your life. It cost Jesus his life to get us all. And he was doing it right. Yep. So God said your pain was not in vain, but instead for someone's gain. But if you don't tell the story, how could I get the glory? Tell me how. Oh, God been so good to you. How? Oh, he turned my life around. How? Oh, he put me on solid ground. How? How long did it take? dear fellow brethren, what did you have to do? How did you have to commit yourself to God?
Step by step.
That's who you need to commit yourself to, God, so that He can convict you and that you can take the sins and you say, you know what? I was guilty before, but I've been reformed.
Come on now.
Because me accepting the process, I am transformation. They say knowledge is power, but only applied knowledge is transformation.
You got to be
what have you done?
evidence.
Come on now.
Evidence. Come on, Melissa.
Melissa always said, y'all make me so happy with the morning song.
Oh.
I'm snapping and dancing and oohing and y'all over here.
Ooh.
I know we listen. Come get the mountain.
You can't get to the mountaintop without hitting that valley first.
Period.
Amen to that. Amen and amen.
I don't even know what book you can read it in, but it's in some of them. Without, you cannot get there.
Come on with the L. She said I was never a hoe.
but I used to get mine.
Come on now.
And it was good. I'm just saying.
Shame.
That's why I just said. That's why you can't go save a hoe.
Come
you
on,
can't save a hoe if you ain't been a hoe. It's impossible.
Never a hoe, but I used to get mine.
Because if you was doing it all good, you even when you're trying to save them, you have a little bit of
I'm just saying.
You have a little bit of a judgment on your helping.
Oh,
you know how you judge while you helping.
What the hell talking about? No, I really don't. Maybe once a year I think about her. Maybe once a year I think about her.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom always said, you really don't know her. I saw something differently. When I'm for you, I'm for you. I've always been there when you treat me bad one time, I'm done with you. Be gone.
Well, you know, I got one thing to say. Good thing God don't treat us like we treat people, honey, because we got little grace for the space. I'm the same way. I had to check myself. I'm telling you things I had to go through in order to grow to where I am today. Don't take it personal. Don't take it process, honey, because we do God bad all the time because He know what we equipped to. He know what we're supposed to do. He know better. But still, He ain't, thank God, He ain't never done with us. But we are not God. So we do not have the power to be able to cope and deal at certain magnitudes. So that is so true. So, you know, but I just want to say I'm glad that He be tolerating the intolerable while we getting it together because God knows we know better.
Where would we be if He just gave up on us?
If He be like, girl,
and
I told you. And see, but wait, He's all knowing.
Correct.
We give up on people not knowing their deficits, not knowing their insecurities, not knowing none of that because they don't share it. You know, we always talk to the tree, but nobody deals with the roots. But if you would unpack that, you would be like, aha. And that's what happened in a lot of my relationship. When I can unpack, when people can be vulnerable and share their truths, right? Once again, back to what the F is your mustard seed. In that book, I talk about how I had to unpack and share my truth because I was thinking, I was overthinking, I was coping and not knowing. Because coping and not knowing. Because I thought I was good, but I wasn't. I wasn't good. I was stuck in those seeds that got planted, the ideas, the things that you don't speak about. So I think it's very important to realize that the who may kill you, but the what will heal you. It is your wisdom hat. You gotta know. You gotta go through the what. You break through what you go through. That part.
You're gonna break.
Come on now.
Bust it wide open.
That's why I said it ain't what you go through, is what you grow through that makes the difference.
Break through it.
Preach, ladies.
Come on now. Tell them, Jake.
Get out of your feelings and into your healing. That part.
Get out of there.
Let me quote my sister P. We need to be on the highway to purpose. Remove your shame and get in your lane. Turn you the pain into power. Gain some clarity into God's favor because it's assignment time. I choose me. # no more excuses. Be the X factor. Oh, you do me so well,
Come on, Melissa.
Some of my favorite quotes.
It's so crazy how we can all just.
Yes,
you being
like it might be the rhyming word.
You could just. I be like, we got a hole in us. So you could just quote a poem, verse, because it just makes so much sense.
I talk too much. That's what it is. I just be.
You ain't got no.
I be dumping all on y'all, and y'all be like,
we ain't
gotta get this out of me. It's too much stuff in me. She's still talking.
It's in us. It's gonna
Look, I'm still talking. We gotta get out of here.
We ain't got no choice but to absorb it.
Don't forget, y'all can catch me live in the Charlotte area.
You hear it so much is in you.
Every Saturday.
You sounded like a little mini Precious.
These my little soul nurses. That's why I'm putting it up for the tour. So I'm gonna have soul nurses.
Soul nurses.
That's the base to soul nursing, honey. Renewing your mind. You got the right words. You know what to say to people, and it's healing. Words are healing.
It's a
words
healing.
are everything. They kill or they heal. The question
We
is how you
change
use
agents.
it.
We about to be healing agents.
Change agents.
Come on, heal the world.
No, y'all my soul
Make it a
nurses. I'm the soul
better
doctor
place.
that would make y'all soul nurses.
For you and for me and the entire human race.
There are people dying, and there's not enough for the living.
Make a better place for you and for me.
You
gotta listen to the words. Girl, that Michael was so.
I'm looking for the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
Look at yourself.
Na, na,
in
na,
the
na, na,
mirror.
na,
It
na.
starts with you.
Come on now, you got to
Listen.
listen.
It can't be
God
no
reboxes the message because the
over
message
and
never
over in
changes.
different ways and different people. And Michael can't reach you. Goddamn it, listen to me. What don't you understand?
Listen to the apostle.
Come on now.
Came to heal your soul.
Jacob says the transition of your healing will help someone else heal. You have to inspire to stay inspired. That part. In that order. In that order.
I'm about to... Listen, this is what happened when we miss a show.
Yeah.
We just be acting silly, man.
But you gotta enjoy life, forgive a word. As long as we vibing on here, we
go where
understand
you're celebrated and not tolerated, honey.
that part.
You know what's so funny though?
That
I can
part.
receive that now, but I remember one time I had told somebody, I'm gonna say their name, that I tolerate them, and they were so offended. And I was like,
but it's the truth.
I was like, well, let me explain something to you.
You gotta do better then.
If my value system is like here, and I, and I speak like this, and I do like that, and I say like this, and I'm expecting us in the community to treat each other a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. And then you around and you're not doing it, and now that's me addressing you, where like this bad behavior, I would have dropped you like a bad habit. Because at this age in my life, I don't have time to sit here and teach nobody how to be a friend. I don't have time to teach people how to respect me. I don't have time because I have roles and titles and assignments. So I cannot waste time trying to allow people who just operate in any type of realm in the midst of the
teaching and pouring into others to be, and you're not like.
And so I definitely but when I realized it was offensive, I was like, okay, well, tolerate just means I don't accept a lot of your behaviors, but I still make room for you because I understand you're still processing. So for me, toleration is accepting the grace on the space of the process, because while I might be getting an A in this area, you may be getting an A in that area. So for me, that's toleration, when you have mastered a subject that somebody hasn't mastered. And so it impacts and affects the way you see them, because you don't realize that we grow and learn at a different level. And while you might be good here, somebody else might be mastering here, because God needs us in all different positions. So toleration is necessary because people grow at a different space. And it is toleration when you have, I guess, arrived at a certain place in a certain space, but you don't want to have long-term memory loss. which is what Christians do and what parents do. You know how that is. Where you forgot how you was as a kid, so you don't relate. Or you forgot before you got saved who you was, so you don't relate. And you act like you woke up like that. In the famous words of Beyonce, but nobody did. Everybody is processed. So toleration is remembering that you didn't wake up like that. And while you might got this together now, there was a time when you had to develop in that area because you were poor, right? And so when you're poor, then you have to learn how to do things. So that's why I feel being poor, that's why God will go and say, I'm going to go get the poor and instill in them. But if you are poor-minded, if you have a poor mind, I can't help you. So being poor and then wealthy, a development process. But if I already got the money, I don't have to take the time to develop because I can throw something at the problem and they can fix it. But when God gives you lack, it's so that you can love and learn that part. Lack makes you learn about how to love yourself in order to increase your territory. So you go from toleration to celebration. So where I was once tolerated, I'm now celebrating. Because I allowed the lack to allow me to learn the lesson to love myself through it so that I can become who God called me to be. And then I get to tell the story, because until I tell the story, I cannot get the glory. So when you was out there acting crazy, people was tolerating you. And when you pulled yourself together and they said, oh my God, you got off of them drugs, now we celebrating you. Listen, I dealt with somebody that was on drugs growing up. I mean, we grew up in a crack era. So I had to tolerate until I could celebrate. Does that make sense? Because I love you, and love is patient. So love allows you to tolerate. Because you know what God can do until you can celebrate. It's like with my little puppy. I tolerate you peeing on the floor right now, but I'm going to celebrate when you go outside and pee in the grass. I'm like, yes, you got it. You did it. But I didn't throw you out when you peed on the floor the first time because I know I had to tolerate the growth. Because you don't wake up like that.
In a growing state.
Come on now. So we gotta work on that. I gotta work. Right.
It's like a relationship.
Come on now.
Come on now. You tolerate the person because you see the potential and know that you're working on growing the journey.
You have mercy on your soul.
So that we could celebrate later of what we've gone through.
When you tolerate, you say, I have mercy on your soul. Have mercy. And your soul is the way you think, right? So having mercy on somebody's soul is, I have mercy on your thinking habits.
Tolerating.
Because God said to renew your mind daily, right? So when you tolerate, people say, listen, I have mercy
so you can
on your thinking habits.
For that part. Come on now.
Thank you, boo.
Yeah.
Get that ebook.
What the F is your
color edition.
Color edition book. You can get the ebook.
I know. When are you going live for the boutique next P? I need to be doing that real soon. Soon, boo.
You need a bad boo. She going live for some shirts, t-shirts, all of that.
All of that.
She going live.
Tolerate so you can celebrate.
Come on.
That's good. That's a good quote for a t-shirt. Tolerate so you can celebrate. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. You see all these lines I got? I got so many phrases. It's gonna be the what is it?
But I love it.
The healing app. Because I'm the healing app. Apostle Precious.
You gotta wear something.
It's gonna be signed healing app.
Fearless female. You got to start wearing stuff that's saying something about
good morning to you. Tamika, look, I forgot to give her song.
Good morning to you.
The birds are chirping.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Good morning to you.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, lady. What up, cuz?
Yes, honey. That is an ebook. You see this ebook up here? It is what the F is your mustard seed, faith or fear. If you don't have a copy of that book, you are not serious about your healing. And I'm gonna say it right here, right now.
What the F are you doing?
What the F are you doing? If you don't have what the F is your mustard seed, I got one question. What the F are you doing?
What the F are you doing?
No excuses. We got an ebook.
Hashtag.
Come on now. We got a black and white.
Come on now.
And we got a color.
What else you need?
And it's on Amazon. So if you say, listen, I need it next day, Go ahead and go on Amazon, honey, and share it with your friends. It just
get
won't
your
be signed.
ebook and you can get it right now.
Right now.
Right now. But trust me, you gonna get both. You want it right
Here's
now, but you want that.
You want to hold
one
that
too,
cover
because
yeah.
that's a collector's item.
That's a collector's
pictures
item.
are
Beautiful.
in color.
The color.
You want that.
Tamika is cracking up.
Tamika, don't be laughing at us.
Let me tell you something. I'm just saying. Today's topic was how to get to a healthier you.
Yep. How would you design a healthier you?
How would you design a healthier you? So I want that to be your thought of the day. As y'all moving through the day and you're speaking over yourself, the first thing you do to design a healthier you is change the way you speak to yourself. Become your own best friend, for starters. So where you are tired and your best friend needs you, you pull out your reserve in order to show up for them. And so God says to love thy neighbor as you love thyself. So in order to be able to do that, you have to become your own best friend. So if I'm able to show up from them when I'm tired, and I don't show up for me when I'm tired, then I'm being inauthentic. Right? Because if the word says to love God with all thy heart, mind, and that soul, and the second commandment was to love thy neighbor as thyself, as you first love thyself. Again, I say, he did not say to love your neighbor first. He could have just said, love God, love your neighbor, then love you. That ain't the order. And the most important part about him saying love God with that heart, mind, and soul is the line that rings so relevant for the I Choose Me healing ministry. He said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And he is in me. He said that the first commandment is to love thy God with your heart, mind, soul, all of that good stuff. And then they said God is love. And then they said love is patient, it is kind, and it does all things, it keeps no thing. How many more examples of what it looks like to love yourself do you need? Words are real and they can heal when you know what they really mean. Words have no power if you don't understand the importance of what's being said. So while y'all quoting these scriptures and y'all are falling in the anointed of God, you need to listen and take heed to the direction that he gave you. Because when you start with you, everything else is done. And if everybody took care of self, there will be nothing left to do. You are so busy being somebody else's best friend, and the commandment was to be your best friend first, so you have the sympathy and empathy to tolerate until you can celebrate your neighbor, because you came to get the lost sheep, because you at one time was lost, and now it's your turn to help somebody else find their way. But it requires for you to expose your affliction in order for somebody to understand why you are the answer.
Ooh.
Easy to say, harder to do, but still your responsibility. The ability of measurement in which you can respond. That's why I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, is a thing. It is your responsibility. I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. That is your job. Period.
Period.
Kia's gonna find us a word for the day. It's Kia's time.
Y'all
so
ready?
Go ahead and open up the magic book and see what God will have for us today.
What's the word for the day?
Reliability. Who can God rely on you to do what he said you can do?
Reliability. Let's see what they saying today.
Hold on, before you say that, let's see
Let's
this
get these
comment.
comments.
Tamika said, facts. Facts,
That
facts.
part.
And Melissa says,
how long do we have to tolerate before we celebrate? I've been tolerating a lot of crap from my brother lately, and I'm wondering how long till the celebration, or if I should walk away so I can be my own best friend. Laugh out loud. Come on, Melissa.
I said that the key with toleration is not taking it personal. You can't tolerate, once again, it's mourning. So it sounds like you're grieving. See, this is a soul doctor talk, right? It sounds like you're grieving who he was or who you expect him to be without being the creator of him. So the reason why it's hard to tolerate, because we have decided what we deserve, how we deserve it, and then we have I guess an idea about who somebody is and what they should be giving you, even though they may not have been equipped, because clearly you have maybe been pouring in areas in which you was expecting to get poured back into, but God was allowing you to pour because your vessel was what? It was bigger. And so it is hard to tolerate when you make it about you. And so when we grieve, right, it's mourning. And remember, God gave me that word, that mourning means what? That in order for the sun to rise, you have to come out of it. And as long as it's about you and how you feel and what you expect and what you think they should be doing, it is going to be hard to release and let God be him. Let go. Love every trial. It is a trial. God is trying to get you through something. He is processing both of y'all at the same time, and both of y'all are going to get different results because God is so powerful that everybody will get a different lesson at the same time. So I would really say that you have to first be your own best friend so that you're equipped to tolerate. Because without mindset training, without speaking life over yourself and being ready and armored for toleration, because you can't go like no slack and no toleration field. You have to be equipped to tolerate, because when you're tolerating, that means weapons could be forming. But because I did my mindset trading, they will not what? Prosper. Come on now, the word is up. Shut up in your bones. You see that?
Come on now.
Now, if he said, weapons may form, but they will not what? They will not prosper. So if that's a fact, that means that as long as my mind is stayed on thee, then I'm equipped to be able to grab the power within, to be able to tolerate you.
To make you feel away. It won't. Yes. You got your armor on. So the armor is going to
you ain't getting wounded
from your feelings. Is penetrating. So it's just you tolerating it, right? So it's not penetrating to now affect you.
Come on now.
Feeling like I gotta choose me. You're tolerating it, right? So the pain, you in pain. You tolerate the pain. You take something for the pain, so you don't feel it anymore. But the pain is still there. You just don't feel it.
You don't feel it.
You tolerated it till you just.
You know
to it. The pill makes it numb to it, but the pain is still there. You just can't.
Well, but God is your pill.
But
God
if
is your
you're
pill.
choosing to tolerate, then oh Lord, she said they had a big blow up situation, Lord Jesus.
And I feel like celebrating the fact that I don't have to tolerate it anymore. And sometimes you need a break. Yeah, sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need to reset to resolve. If I don't reset, I can't resolve.
Reset to resolve. That's another one, honey. Reset to resolve.
Because if you don't reset, you can't resolve the issue because you're still going from a lack. If I'm going from the same place I was at, then I'm going to be the same place because I don't have the energy or the fuel to go to the next level.
That's what it sounds like. You're being depleted. You're tolerating it, but now you're getting actually depleted, and that's why you're feeling like you need to choose yourself because you don't have any more to tolerate somebody. You need a refill so that you don't have overflow. You have nothing. You have need at this point now. So now you're feeling like I need to choose me because I'm saying I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat. My light is on, and I don't even know when I'm going to make it to the next refill station.
Let me tell you something.
Come on now.
That part. You know how many times I had to reset? Sometimes I have reset it for years. Some of my reset took 8 years. A new beginning.
on now.
I ain't lying.
Come on now.
Some of my reset took 20 years. Depends on how I was wounded and if I was equipped to tolerate. And then I came back for the reset and was going on for a year. I was like, oh shit. Excuse my French. I ain't equipped to tolerate it again. So you see what I'm saying? You gotta be honest about what you are carrying or your equipment, because you can get wounded in the war if you're not equipped right. And now you bleeding out on everybody else because of what somebody else did over there. That's why if you're not equipped, you can't tolerate. You have to reset the resolve. Now when I reset the resolve, and I'm better equipped because I renewed my mind daily while I was resetting.
Go re-up, girl.
Right.
You gotta go re-up. You know, in the war, you gotta go re-up.
Go get some new armor.
You gotta re-up. Your guns ain't loaded no more. You gotta
What's the armor spell? Our arm? You need a new arm, girl. This arm ain't, listen, you gotta raise them both up, God.
Yeah.
See, armor, our arm.
You gotta go back to base.
Ooh,
You
girl,
gotta
look
come
what
back
God
to
just
base
gave me.
so
Girl,
you get
look what
reloaded.
God just gave me. Armor, our arms. God said, raise your hands. Surrender. That's your armor. You better go to God and surrender and say, listen, your will be done. I trust you.
Oh my
do
God.
the work you need to do. Do me and do them. Stop always praying about them and how you want them fixed. God fix me so I don't take it personal. That's what you need to be praying God to do. Fix me so I don't take it personal. Don't say fix them. You don't even know if something wrong with them. Maybe something wrong with you. Maybe something wrong with how you set up boundaries. Maybe something wrong with what you expect. Maybe something wrong with what you are used to. Maybe it's you asking God to give you the process you need to let go. Love every trial so you can get over, because you get to be here. Grace expects testimonies. Come on now. God said, listen, let me stop. We done now. We about to read this thing and get you out of here. I like that one. Reset the resolve. Okay, that could be a short. I also need a blow-up-situation show.
Let me get to this word today. Okay.
Listen, we're just gonna the shirt gonna say, I just went through a blow-up situation. You gotta decide which.
Don't make this a blow-up situation.
Yo, my healing app line is about to be off the chain. We have bling words everywhere.
You gonna have fucking sayings like, yo, them fucking shirts, God. That line is gonna be crazy. That fucking fashion show, I can't. We gonna be saying something around here.
We got something to say,
get these name brands with one word. What that mean? Who's guess? Guess what? Guess who?
What the hell is a Gucci?
What is pink? Pink what? What is they saying? Y'all better stop.
Come on, let's get to this.
Reliability.
Let's get y'all out of here. We're going to get y'all out of here.
Man, $70. This terrible. All right. All people are like grass. All their glory is like the flowers in the field. The grass dries up. The flowers fall to the ground. But the word of the Lord lasts forever. 1 Peter 1:24. Every good action and every perfect gift is from God. These good gifts come down from the creator of the sun, moon, and stars, who does not change like their shifting shadows. James 1:17. You are near, Lord, and all your commands are true. Long ago, I learned from your statuses that you established them to last forever. Psalm 119 and 151. Faithful God, your reliability is solid.
Oh, say that again.
Faithful God, your reliability is solid. I build my life on its foundation. If only my gratitude for your unwavering commitment to me gave me the same faithfulness towards others.
Oh my God. Did we not
just go ahead?
But I said, let me tell you something. You better have the grace of God, honey, because God knows He has been patient with you. But that's why I said the word says.
If we was to just.
The word says God is great is He that's in me. God is love. And then they explain love.
Ooh.
Love is patient. It is kind. It holds no score.
Girl.
It is not boastful.
See?
You hear that? Because boastful is saying, well, I did this for you.
Girl, listen.
Why you ain't do this for me?
Girl, listen to this next one.
What's the next one say? I'm telling you, we can't make this up.
I cannot.
She just opened the book up. Y'all saw it right here. Y'all better know when anointing is in the room, honey. Y'all playing around with His healing power. Y'all better be sharing.
Let me be dependable as you are dependable. Committed as you are committed. Help me to be reliable and steady. That is crazy.
Commit to God so He can come. So He can compete.
God is so tolerant on us being going through things that we just give up on people. Right? Yeah. So if we had as much patience, love is patient.
And God is love. And then He tells you all the ways you love. That's why my saying is love grows everything. So love yourself first. Because it is the foundation of everything. It is the center. So when you can love you, you are the closest to God because God is love. It ain't say God loves, God likes it. He said it is. So is a being.
So the question is, how does it make you feel to know you can rely on God for everything? How does it make you feel that you can rely on God for everything?
Amen. This is a good word. Thank you, God, for every good and perfect gift. That part.
Come on now.
To be reliable.
Come on.
Not be
denied. And we rely on Him for everything.
Everything. I said, even the atheists cry out to God when the plane goes.
Come on now.
Oh, God. Oh, you know Him now, huh?
That part.
And that's what He's sick of. He's sick of y'all coming to Him when you're broken, busted, and disgusted. That He's the last person you come to. Now you need God.
Now you calling out my
now you want Him. Now you want to call on the phone. Now you want to tap into love. But how you was out here?
How was you living out here? How was you on your assignment out here? Did you do any assignment out here?
What was my saying? How you loving out here? How you loving out here?
How you loving out here?
How you loving out here?
How you showing up out here in these streets?
How are you loving? So here, y'all, we about to get this card in.
Yes, we about to get this. I am. Y'all ready?
God, give us a good word that's going to help people get to the design of a healthier them, because we are in the season of getting out of our feelings to heal, go from survivor to survivor, and this it all from how we speak to ourselves. And so may these cards be speaking of life and understanding that you are the source. And when we tap into the source, which is the being that is inside of us, we get to develop into who you called us to be. And then we get to be the example so that somebody else can see the evidence of the glory that you had on our story. And so, no, we did not wake up like this, but allow us to surrender and humble ourselves to the direction and decisions that were made that got us to who we are today in order to be accountable to create a new design for a healthier us. May we find the I am that speaks directly to everyone's soul on this morning. Oh, we get another one. Which one we want to tap for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost? 3 cards. So, take this. That's it right there on the top.
Y'all ready? for this.
Ready? It said,
Go.
I am unstoppable, I am genuine, and I am the promise. Can we get 3 better words to ask God to cover us
Come on now.
in where we're going? Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Y'all see it.
God said that I am unstoppable, I am genuine, and I am the promise. You are a pro. You are a pro. And what was the word? Reliability. God said, can I rely on you to never forget to be unstoppable and genuine in the promise? Because I want to know that you showed up for the impact. I am the impact. I'm the agreement heaven had with earth.
That part.
So God is saying, man, if you could tap into how genuine you are and realize that you are my promise, then you can become unstoppable, because then you will move with a momentum that shows the glory in your story, because that is the evidence. I want you to inspire them into change. And in order to become whole, you got to pick up all of what? The change. The change makes you whole. And so we thank God for this word today. How do we get to a healthier us? By being genuine. That's how you get to a healthier you, by understanding the promise that's assigned to your life. So accepting the process.
That part.
And then not stop it.
Because you
can't stop, won't stop, right? What's again? That's your boy, that Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Who say that?
That's big. That's
Who
P.
is that?
Diddy.
P. Diddy said can't
That's
stop, won't
Mason.
stop. Huh? Oh,
That's
that
P.
might
Diddy.
be Mason Beck. What they say? Mason
That's
Mason
Won't
Beckham.
stop. Bad boy.
Listen, I think this was an amazing word.
That
An
was
amazing
This was
word. This was
coffee
an amazing coffee and conversation. I am genuine, I am unstoppable, and I am the promise. And don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. So just want to remind y'all that every boom, boom, boom Saturday is SOS service with the I Choose Me Healing Ministry. That means Sabbath overflow service, in which you can come live in the building.
Come in person.
Well, no, in the outside. We outside.
Bring your chair.
Bring your chair, your fold-up chair. 7 p.m. every Saturday for a healing service, and it's all about you. Now, I'm going to let the church do what they do on Sunday, but I came to heal you, because without the mental health, it don't matter how they coach you. Until you change the way you think about yourself, they can coach you and tell you everything, but until you believe it, it doesn't even matter. You cannot get in action for your attraction until you learn to love the God in you. Until you learn to love the process it takes. Until you learn to love yourself in order to love somebody else, right? So we got to commit to God so that he can convict our souls, so that we can get an alignment for our assignment and realize that, honey, he's relying on us. So what's your reliability? If you can rely on God, can he rely on you to keep the story going? Come on now.
We rely on him, but somebody else is relying on us to show up in our genuine self, because we are unstoppable.
Come on now. And the promise is locked up in your story. So process so that you can become promise. It is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So we don't compete. Oh, no, no, no. We complete. And the difference between those two words is an L, because L stands for love, and love grows everything. So remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. Remember what responsibility is. It is the ability of measurement in which you can respond. And everybody has one. You. So be unstoppable
Be unstoppable.
Be the promise.
Come on now.
And stay genuine. Stay genuinely in love with yourself, so it's easier to love. So you see, genuine love means I can be real with my process. That's genuine love. That I love me. Like the logo shows, I'm hugging me in the mirror before I can look myself in the face. I'm going to embrace. I pledge to embrace who I am today. Love who I was yesterday and inspire who I will become tomorrow. That is the job. And when I love me, it's easier to love you.
Correct.
Okay.
So when I have all these flaws and things going on with me, and I don't truly, genuinely love me, it's a falsified.
It's hard for me to commit to your growth. Let's say that.
The tolerance is like, because I also got tolerance for my own day. I'm tolerating me. Right. I don't have to. Yes. So this has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
So you have definitely been tuned in
to Coffee and Conversations. So don't forget to wake up and make today count. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I choose me. # no more excuses, because you were born in love. Love you guys. See you Friday.
Enjoy the rest of your day. See you on Friday.